perfect right now. You know that I have some other classes booked up one after another.
Okay.
So
No,
we'll
no.
talk to
Prabhu, what Ashok Prabhu is saying is maybe somewhere
right
around
7:30.
7:30,
Yeah,
7:30.
7:30 might be very difficult for me.
Very difficult. Okay.
Yeah, because I'll be doing I have routine that I follow.
Otherwise, working days.
No, working day is very difficult. I might not be in town. Unfortunately,
Is
packed up.
Sunday a little later an option?
Sunday we can do
After 1 o'clock is an option?
yeah, after 1:30 we can do. But 12 to 1 I think is a lot that I have to give to something else that I have committed over many years. But I was in
Prabhu,
India. Yeah,
after 1 o'clock, myself and Dayasin Mataji we may have some kind of
right,
cooking service.
right.
Later is a bit difficult. 12:30 maybe
Yeah.
we can think of
Okay,
12:30 to
let's do the
1:30.
session today and then we'll talk.
Okay.
Let's get at least have some nice discussion today. Let's prep our mood. And then we'll talk about it. Not a problem. Bhagavatam session. Are you seeing the screen, Prabhu?
Not yet.
Not it, huh?
Yes,
It says,
Prabhu, we are able to see it.
yeah, it says that I'm
Oh,
sharing
okay.
the screen.
Yes, I'm able to see.
Okay.
Maybe
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devi Saraswati Vyasam Tato Jayam Udiret Nashprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloka Vibhavati Nastaki. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deen Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesa Gopiya Kanto Radha Kanta Sapt Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishvanuste Devi Purnamami Panchkalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhyayavasya Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namaste Saraswate Deve Gaurvani Prachadine Nirvishesha Shunya Pashati Sutari Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Sankirtan ki jai Hare Krishna Mahamantra ki jai Iskon founder Acharya Divine Srila Prabhupada ki jai जय जय श्री श्री अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय 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 श्री ब्रह्माद गौरी संप्रदाय की जय ब्रह्माद गौरी संप्रदाय आचार्य वृंद की जय श्रीमन भक्त वृंद की जय निताय गौर प्रेम जय निताय गौर प्रेम जय जय श्री श्याम सुंदर Hare Krishna chapter 11 Lord Krishna is now entering into Dwarka. In chapter 10 we talked about how difficult it was for Krishna to leave Hastinapur, especially when Krishna was among his or amidst of his pure devotee. It makes very difficult for his lordship to leave. But finally Krishna left, and then we studied how the ladies of Hastinapur are praying. And then in this chapter, Krishna is entering into the Dwarka. So as Krishna entered into the Dwarka, he blew his horn cells, and then all the citizens started welcoming him, offering him presentation, and they started saying words for his incomparable supremacy, and also how rare fortune is for them to have the darshan of his lordship, Achat darshan, right? Direct vision, direct darshan. No, don't know how glorious that moment is going to be. And then next set of verses from verse number 11 to 15 talks about how nicely Dwarka was decorated. He says that it was filled with all opulences, and all the seasons were working perfectly. And everywhere, all around, it was sign of festivity. And as we have, not we have, but we'll study that when Krishna will depart from planet, then there will be omens of inauspiciousness around. But while Krishna was on this planet, everything was working perfectly, you know, season four, perfectly coming and going, and everywhere it was festivity season. So Lord reciprocation with the receptionist means all the inhabitants, his friends, and wives. Krishna has 16,108 wives. So Krishna is having reciprocation with all of his relatives and different categories of people. Krishna honored them in terms with their rank and position. So we'll talk a little bit about that. And then they started praying and talking about Lord attractive beauty, Lord's insatiable beauty. And then they started to present the analogies, how the Lord's beauty, I mean, Lord beauty cannot have any analogy. There is nothing that can be compared to his beauty. But for our material perception, because we need some comparison to understand certain thing, there is analogy presented. And then reciprocation of Lord with his mothers, headed by Devaki. And then dealing with means very delicate, you know, uh, part of the discussion. So we'll discuss that part. And then finally, the transcendental characters of the Supreme Lords are mentioned, such as his senses are unagitated by queens. So those queens were damsels, so beautiful, so opulent, powerful personality. When Krishna has 16,108 wives, one should not think that he was like ordinary person. And his senses are driven by their beauty and their attraction. So our acharyas have given a very powerful, series of verses that says that although Krishna is going through all of this, and he has wives and he has to expand himself to be with those wives, one should not think that his senses are agitated like ordinary people senses are. And then divinity of the Lord and his devotee. Finally, says that no one can understand Krishna. So although Krishna was staying with his wives, he will expand himself, and each of the wife they will think that Krishna is loving them too much, and Krishna is always with them, and they could not understand, who this person is, his expansion, his pastime. So even those wives were staying with Krishna, but they could not understand Krishna in completeness. So this is the summary of this chapter, but this is mostly storytelling. We have few verses where I would like to go deeper and talk as we go along, but we'll try to finish this chapter maybe next class. So in 2 classes, we'll go through these 39 verses. That's my plan. So let's get into chapter. So as Krishna entered, can you read? Can somebody read? I think reading will be better. Just read one punch. Yeah, please read.
1 to 3. Lord's conch shell sound heralds his arrival. So should I just read the detailed explanation, Prabhu?
Just read the details first. Yeah.
Conch. Upon reaching Dwaraka, Krishna heralded his arrival by blowing his auspicious conch, which dispelled the dejection of the Dwarakavasis.
So Krishna has entered into the Dwarka. He blew his council. Anybody knows what's the name of his council? What is the name of Krishna's council? We studied that in Bhagavatam.
Yes, Prabhuji, we did.
Panchajanya.
Panchajanya, yeah.
So Krishna blew Panchajanya, which means
And
it's
what is
sign of
Arjuna? What was Arjuna's?
Yeah, they are different. I'm forgetting the name.
Maybe Devadatta.
Devadatta, maybe, yeah. So by blowing Krishna's conch shell, it was sign of victory. It was presence of Krishna's, and it was all auspicious. So in the temple also, when we do arti, you would see that conch shells are being blown. Conch shell is the presence of or the sound of conch shell is representation that all the inauspiciousness has been dispelled, and also it's the representation of victory of dharma over adharma. So when council is being blown, it has multiple meaning. Another meaning of council is that whenever some great personality arrives, like if you would have heard and seen some old historical play, you would see that when kings are coming in the assembly, councils will be blown up. So that's also the sign of welcoming a great personality. So in this chapter 11, there are three major things we are going to talk. Three major things. First part is appraisal or appreciation of the inhabitants Dwarka. So inhabitants are going to appreciate Krishna. That's one segment. And second segment is meeting Krishna with his friends and close relatives. The last is satisfying his wives. So these are the three major section of discussion we have in this chapter. Okay, Mataji, continue.
Praised by inhabitants, meet with his friends, and satisfy his wives. 1. Touch. The white conch shell was reddened by the touch of the Lord's transcendental lips. It seemed that a white swan was playing in the stems of red lotus flowers. Sound. Hearing that sound, which gives fear to the dangers of material existence, the citizens ran quickly towards the Lord to have a long desired audience with him.
Which gives a fear to the dangers of the material existence. The sound of counsel also gives relief from the anxiety and suffering of the material world. It also serves as a reminder to the absolute truth. The multiple level of meaning are given when counsels are being blown. Okay, Mata, continue.
The citizens arrived before the Lord with their respective presentations, offering them to the fully satisfied and self-sufficient one, who by his own potency incessantly supplies others. These presentations were like the offering of a lamp to the sun, yet the citizens began to speak in ecstatic language to receive the Lord, just as words welcome their guardian and father.
So here he says that their presentations were like the offering of a lamb to the sun. Can you explain what does it mean? Can devotee explain here on the call? What is being spoken here? The translation is here for series of verses 4 to 5. It says that their presentations were like the offering of a lamb to the sun. What does it mean?
So the Lord is self-sufficient, fully satisfied, and he owns everything. And whatever offerings the citizens are giving, it means really nothing, but their love is what they're presenting to the Lord.
Yes. Wonderful, excellent. Okay. What do you have to say, Ashok Prabhu, Prabhu, about that? Do you have anything that you want to add? These presentations
Prabhu,
were
it's
like the
like,
offering of a lamb to the sun. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it's the Lord is already, I mean, there's no darkness there. There's still, I think it's just a matter of like their you know matter of devotion, just like we are offering lamp in the morning to our gurus, and also Lord Balram at the temple. They don't need that, but still out of our will and our uh, you know to bring humility to us, we are doing that.
Okay. I think, sir, Prabhu, what you have to say on that is that
So, as Ashok Prabhu said, he doesn't need any kind of illumination or anything. Just for our satisfaction and as a ritual activities, we are doing all those things.
what is the real connotation here? What is the real point that's being mentioned here? Yeah, what you said is perfect, but can you be more precise on this? What exactly is being said here through that is offering lamb to the
So it says that they are welcoming their guardian and father. So it's like you are welcoming some very, 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 very important person in your life. that's uh, that's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah. So offering the lamb, the gift that were offered to Krishna is compared offering lamb to the son. So in this particular connotation, the whatever you all said is right. That Sindhu Mataji was talking about Lord is Atmaram. That's exactly is what we are trying to understand from here. That Lord is self-sufficient, and really he doesn't. I mean, what is the importance of gift for him? Gifts are sometimes meaningful to us. If somebody is like, so if somebody will come and give me gift saying that Prabhu, we are giving you a flat here. Just talk about something big, very big gift, not a simple gift like uh, that is of less value. Something that has a higher value that has a lot of meaning to me. But that gift can change even my life. But here is Atmarama Shamunyu Nirgantiya Purukrame. Krishna is Atmaram, right? So gift of any quantity, of any value has really no importance for him because what is that verse? Bhoktaram Yaktapsam Saraloke Maheshwaram. Krishna is Bhoktaram Yaktapsam Saraloke Maheshwaram. This entire material world is in existence because of his
Because,
expansion, because of his creation as Karnodakshay Vishnu, Gaudakshay Vishnu, and Chiyodakshay Vishnu. Mama Yansa Jiva Loka Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. This whole Jiva Bhuta Sanatana is part and parcel. So there is nothing, So the very important concept that we have to understand is that like when you are giving gift, then you know you are you and I am I. Like if Ashok Prabhu is giving me some gift, Ramacharya Prabhu, here is a gift for you. So Ramacharya Prabhu and Ashok Prabhu, they are two different entities. And one entity is doing something to others. But here, number one, everything, all the opulences that we see, it's opulence of Krishna. And number two, Prasasya Sakti Vyudhaya Suryate, nothing is different. Nothing is different. It's not Krishna, everything is inside him, that's another way to understand. Everything is inside him. Everything is his. So that concept of giving really basically not existing here because they are not a different entity. But at the same time, they are devotees of Lord and they have appreciation of personality of Godhead. So they are appreciating the welcome of Krishna.
so they are doing
Lamp,
it for their own satisfaction
they
and
are
to remove.
doing it for affection, as you said. Yeah, they are doing it for their affection, love, for their devotion. the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
And also other words like Aham Sarvasya Prabhu Matta Sarvam Pravartate. Everything comes from the Lord.
Yeah. So Prabhupada is saying the comparison is made here in that making offering to the Lord is something like offering a lamp in the worship of the sun god.
Yeah.
So offering of a lamp in the worship of a sun god. Anything fiery and illuminating is but an emanation of the energy of the sun. In the material world, anything that is fiery and illuminating is the emanation coming from the energy of the sun. And it to worship the sun god, it is necessary to offer him a lamp, like you were just saying. In the worship of the sun, there is some sort of demand made by the worshipper. But in the case of devotional service, here is another thing. To the Lord, there is no question of demand from either side. It is a powerful statement. It is all a sign of pure love and affection between the Lord and the devotee. And then Prabhupada said the Lord is Supreme Father of all living being, and therefore those who are conscious of his vital relationship with God and make uh, filial demands from the Father, and the Father is pleased to supply. So all of that, is coming after that. But this is symptom of the devotional exchange. Okay, so we move to the next one, Mataji, 6 to 10.
The citizen said, Incomparable supremacy. O Lord, you are worshipped by all demigods like Brahma, the four sanas, and even the King of Heaven. You are the ultimate rest for those who are really aspiring to achieve the highest benefit of life. You are the supreme transcendental Lord, and inevitable time cannot exert its influence upon you.
Yeah. So you are the Supreme Transcendental Lord, and the inevitable time cannot exert its influence, right? Everything else is under the influence of time. What happening in the material world is that material world is being driven by time. Yeah. Like future is time, past was time, and present is
Time.
time. Yes. So present, past, and future is nothing but time. Now, what is this time? What is this time?
It's Krishna himself.
Himself.
Yes, Kalo Asmi Ham. Krishna says in 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita that I am this time. And then when we study the creation, which we are going to study in next canto, the unmanifested energy. What is unmanifested energy? Anybody knows? What is it called?
Pradhana.
Pradhan. Yes. So unmanifested energy pradhan, when injected with time, Jiva Shakti and Lord Ichha Shakti. At least Ichha Shakti and Jiva Shakti, then it becomes Mahatattva. And when Mahatattva is injected with time, then
Creation.
it is active. Time is very important component. Time, if the concept of time is taken out, then the concept of material world cannot be conceived. So time that seems to be very insignificant is extremely significant in terms of creation. Okay, Mataji, continue reading.
Decorations of the city of the Dwaraka, filled with opulence of all seasons, festive signs, every house is prepared for Lord's worship. Dwaraka was protected by the Rishnis and was filled with the opulences of all seasons. There were hermitages, orchards, gardens, parks, and reservoirs of lotuses everywhere. All the gates and doors were decorated with festive signs, flags, garlands, painted signs, and slogans, all combined to shade the sunshine. All the major roads were thoroughly cleansed and sprinkled with scented water and were strewn with flowers, fruits, and unbroken seeds. In every house, auspicious things like yogurt, unbroken fruits, sugarcane, full water pots, articles of worship, incense, and lamps were all displayed.
Wow. They are devotees, They all are welcoming. Okay, Mataji, continue reading.
What
Lord
does means, Prabhu? Unbroken fruits.
Maybe
Unbroken fruits means fruits which are in a pure stage, not like sometimes like pure. They say that in India I would say that when there is some festivity or something, they buy a stuff and they keep it separate. This is for Lord. This is to offer. This is to offer. Don't touch it. Have you seen something like that? Especially when there is a preparation that has 2-3 days, long time. From before people start preparing and bring their stuff and they keep it assigned separate. This is for Lord. So in that context, and it is being used that they had clean whole fruits assigned, kept separately as the offering. Supreme Personality of Godhead. It was not beaten. It was not tested. It was not eaten by somebody. Something that is kept separately in a very auspicious way.
Okay.
Yogurt, fruit, sugar cane, full water pots, article for worship, incense and lamps. Everything were kept aside to worship Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Thank you.
I don't know if you have any, in my state, there is a festival called Chhat. It's like, Chhathi word that happens in Kartik month. It's considered very, very powerful. And for that worship, you will see that there is a house, there is a room. And in that room, everything, all the paraphernalia for that event is kept. And nobody can go. Only the person who is fasting, who is clean, can get inside, and everything is in the very auspicious mood and pure stage. So something like that is being depicted here. Just 1 minute, Prabhuji.
Okay.
Sorry, Haribol. Okay, Mataji. So you can read next now.
Lord's reciprocation with the reception. Hearing of their beloved Krishna's arrival, Vasudeva, Akrura, Ugrasena, Balarama, Pradyumna, Charutsena, and Samba all became extremely happy. Abandoning resting, sitting, and dining, they all hastened towards the Lord out of affection, on chariots accompanied by Brahmanas, elephants, and musical sounds. Many prostitutes, eager to meet the Lord, with dazzling earrings, began to proceed on various vehicles. Expert dramatists, artists, dancers, singers, historians, genealogists, and learned speakers all did their respective performances to welcome the Lord. Lord Krishna duly honored everyone and properly greeted them in terms of their rank and position, yatha vidhi, by bowing, greeting, embracing, shaking hands, looking, smiling, assuring, and awarding benedictions. Then the Lord entered the city, accompanied by elderly relatives and invalid brahmanas with their wives, all offering benedictions and glorifying the Lord. Not sure, Prabhu, why it's invalid.
Then the Lord entered the city accompanied by elderly relatives and invalid Brahmins with their wives, all offering benedictions and glorifying the Lord. Yeah, continue reading, Mataji. We'll talk
When
about
Lord
that.
Krishna passed over the public roads, all the ladies from the respectable families of Dwaraka went up to the roofs of their palaces just to have a look at the Lord. They considered this to be the greatest festival.
Right. So I would like to bring the purport of His Divine Grace Prabhupada to answer that invalid question. Okay,
Hmm.
better to read. I have it ready here. I knew that one of you will ask, and answer I can give, but it's better to. It was verse number 23. Yeah, can you read, Mataji? Read the translation and then the purport.
Then the Lord personally entered the city, accompanied by elderly relatives and invalid brahmanas with their wives, all offering benedictions and singing the glories of the Lord. Others also praised the glories of the Lord. Purport by His Divine Grace. The brahmanas in society were never attentive to banking money for future retired life. When they were old invalids, they used to approach with their wives the assembly of the kings, and simply by praising the glorious deeds performed by the kings, they would be provided with all necessities of life.
So do you understood the invalid, the meaning of invalid here?
Yes, Prabhuji, maybe they are retired almost.
Yes, they are retired right now. They are not active. But since while they were active, what did they do?
They went from door to door.
Right. When they were active, they never really, that's the symptom of Brahmanical quality. They
Yeah.
never, collected the money
But
Money
for
for
their
future.
future.
Yeah.
So when they became old, and I have seen that even in my village, happening that thing. The old Brahmins, when they become old, they go to their Jajman house, to their, and then they do the things for their glorification, and then they get some, glorious deeds performed by the king. They would be provided with all necessity of life. So that's why this term is being used. Okay,
Such
please read.
brahmanas were not, so to speak, flatterers of the kings, but the kings were actually glorified by their actions, and they were sincerely still more encouraged in pious acts by such brahmanas in a dignified way. Lord Sri Krishna is worthy of all glories, and the praying brahmanas and others were glorified themselves by chanting the glories of the Lord.
Right. So this is clear. Now, in verse number 21, there is a term used called Yathavidhi. And Yathavidhi means it says that Krishna here, Lord Krishna, the personality of Godhead, approached them and offered due honor and respect to each and every one of the friends, relatives, citizens, and all other who came to receive and welcome him. But his reciprocation was Yathavidhi. His reciprocation was based upon who they were and what do they deserve. Okay, somebody sometimes may say that, oh, why Krishna has to do even Yathavidhi. So I would like for that read this purport. You are seeing the screen.
Purport by His Divine Grace. The Supreme Lord Personality of Godhead is neither impersonal nor an inert object unable to reciprocate the feelings of His devotees. Here, the word yathavidhi, or just as it behooves, is significant. He reciprocates just as it behooves with His different types of admirers and devotees. Of course, the pure devotees are of one type only because they have no other object for service but the Lord. And therefore, the Lord also reciprocates with such pure devotees just as it behooves. Namely, He is always attentive to all the matters of His pure devotees. There are others who designate Him as impersonal, and so the Lord also does not take any personal interest. He satisfies everyone in terms of one's development of spiritual consciousness
See
and
here, this is extremely important line. Yeah.
it's all up to the desire of the person. If he's
Jo
for
jatha ye jatha mam prapadyante tam satam me bhajamyaham.
right.
You're right. Yeah. And to make it very clear, Krishna is, Prabhupada is saying personal, impersonal.
Yeah.
who have no interest with the personal form of Krishna. Krishna would never basically appear to those personality in his personal feature. And Krishna would never, impose his personal attributes to that person. But someone who is attached as pure devotee to his personal form, then Krishna will personally appear to that person. So, yeah, continue Mataji, this line again. He satisfies.
It satisfies everyone in terms of one's development of spiritual consciousness, and a sample of such reciprocation is exhibited here with his different welcomers.
Yes. So, what can we little bit meditate on this statement? It says that he satisfies everyone in terms of one's development of a spiritual consciousness. So, I'm asking a question to you now, and you help me understand. Is that mean that although bhakti is performed in association, but it's very individual process? Can we say like that?
Say that again, Prabhuji.
Huh?
Can you repeat?
Can you repeat, Prabhu?
Although bhakti is performed in association of a devotee, but still it's an individual process. It's individual
Yeah,
process.
I think
Yes,
I
Prabhu.
think so.
Of course.
Because I mean, it depends on my own desire how deeply I want to be be in this process of bhakti. So it's individual to me. Though I may be in the devotees association, but my take from that may be entirely different.
Yep. Yep. Because this sentence, if you really read it, very
Yeah,
clearly talks about individuality. It satisfies everyone in terms of one development. Very individual.
yeah.
So you are
I think
right.
it just depends how much covering we have of the various elements on top of us.
Exactly.
So
So
it's
that
like
is
peeling the onion rings.
yes, very good point. Okay, some other thoughts on that statement. What else
Yes,
you can
Prabhuji.
think
I
about it?
mean, in the association of devotees, it helps to be in the process, because if you, for example, say if you are hanging out with the materialists, where is a chance of devotion? I mean, so association of devotee is very important.
Very important.
At the
It's one
same,
of the very basic, requirement.
yes, otherwise,
Tatha sraddha tat sadhu sangha. Yes, you're
and,
right. Very right. Yes. Continue, Mataji.
and also at the same time, it is your individual endeavor, individual, sincerity, because sincerity doesn't come just by looking, you have to apply in your life. So in that way, it is individual, meaning you have to apply certain things and develop certain qualities. So you can,
What do you mean by certain qualities?
certain qualities, meaning I meant mostly the sincerity.
Like individual devotional qualities, you mean?
Yes.
Yes. Yes. So institution is very important. We are not, one should not ignore the importance of institution, practicing Krishna consciousness in an institute under the umbrella of International Society for Krishna Consciousness, but it's also individual. Prabhupada, in one of the purport, will write that everyone has to fly their own plane. We
Aeroplane.
all are, huh?
Fly our own aeroplane.
Yes. So we all are on our own plane. Now you fly up, you fly where you are flying all the time, just is the same height, or you can go even down. That's the mean, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Krishna,
And I was just saying that it's a different story for the pure devotees. I mean, they can also, like if we look at the examples from the scriptures, there are some unique examples there where there was no institution, but for the conditioned souls like like myself, I do need the company of the devotees and association.
Yeah, even six Goswamis, they were, maybe there was not institution, but the six Goswamis, have you seen the picture?
Yes, Prabhuji.
They're
I mean,
together. They're together. And they will
Goswami,
always come together and they will talk the pastime of Supreme Lord. So association is never underestimated by even other devotees. Like we don't know, that's why we have to read the pastime. We don't know or we don't have the names of all the devotees who are in close vicinity of Bhaktisiddhanta Swami Maharaj or other, but when you sing some of the prayer, you will hear so many names. So pure devotee always associate with like-minded person, pure devotee.
yes, Prabhuji, they
So the
do.
association has always been the integral element. That's the core uh, philosophy. But at the same time, it's individual process too. Yes, Mataji, please continue.
No, I'm not denying at all.
No, yeah, I know you are not, but I'm just trying to, kind of a little bit emphasize that part. You said
Yeah,
very clearly that, it's
yes.
very important.
And also, I was remembering like Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj and some others. Like, didn't at least I did not read where they were, in a group of devotee association like that.
He has a spiritual master, right?
Yes, of course, I
Right.
think
And
because
he
that's how he is in the
associated,
disciplic succession, right?
right? So just associating with a spiritual master is not sufficient. Pure
Yeah,
devotee.
you're right, Prabhu. You're right. We are under the disciplic succession. That itself,
Right.
it's not like the organization or anything, but like ISKCON now. But yes,
So one thing you have to always remember why we are trying to discuss this thing, that we have to practice bhakti in society. We are practicing bhakti in the society, but at the same time, the inner quality has to be cultivated. We have to have that introspection that am I really with this quality that I have? Am I really pleasing? Am I really doing for the pleasure of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, or is it pleasing to me? You know, and when that this is very, you would have heard that thousands times. This is a very simple statement, but the root of this statement is very deep. That whatever I'm doing, okay, I'll do for the pleasure of Krishna. If that statement is very deep, you know, with that process of rectification comes, introspection comes. That now I'm doing certain thing. Is it being done for pleasure of Lord, or is it being done because I like doing, or it's my pleasure and this and that? So subjectivity or individuality at the higher stage, when we advance, it becomes basically very aligned with the teaching of Guru Shastra and Sadhu. Is that right or wrong? Is that if it's clear to you?
yes, Prabhuji, absolutely.
There
Yeah,
is no separate desire, right?
yes,
Yes, Prabhu.
we are
Yes.
we align. Yes,
So these are some of the, so you individually can look at you and you can see that are you really uh, advancing in the process. The advancement in the process means, are you really sacrificing your liking and disliking and aligning with the liking and disliking of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, right? Is that right or wrong?
yes, Prabhuji.
Yes.
I
Yes.
was remembering His Holiness Prabhupada Maharaj's one of the lectures where Maharaj said, somebody asked, like, how would we know that we are really advancing?
Uh-huh.
So Maharaj said, litmus test is very simple. Who is in the center? You or the Lord. If
Yeah.
you are in the center, then you should know where you should know. And if Lord is in the center, then you will know that you're advancing.
Very good point. You will know both, right?
Yeah, you will know both.
Yes. Yes. Alex, would you have to say something on the discussion that we are doing right now?
Yes, Prabhu.
What you would like to say?
So first of all, Prabhu, this one,
Yeah, Prabhuji, go ahead.
first of all, Prabhu, I have this that means this Madhura in the citizens. They are they aware that Krishna is Bhagavan? Hello.
Yeah. Yes. So that's the question that did they know that Krishna is Bhagwan? And answer is both. Depending on that's what we were discussing. Many of them, like Mother Devaki, who have directly seen, right? Krishna appearing,
Yes, yes.
and other, Nanda Maharaj is also now in Dwarka. You can hear all these names here: Vasudev, Akrura, So they for sure knew
Yeah.
that Supreme Personality of Godhead, But then among the citizens, many would know that Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead, and many would not.
Yeah, it's Lord Krishna says himself that Bhavanam Janmana Ante, so Jnanavan Prapateti. So I think he says that not everybody will know me as I'm the God.
Yes, and even here is the thing. So this is pastime that is performed by Krishna. So there are two potency: Yoga Maya potency and what is second potency?
Mahamaya.
Nadia Gujar Prabhu, what is second potency? What are the two types of potency? Can you tell? What are the two potencies?
External and internal.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yoga Maya and
Mahamaya, Go Maya.
Yoga Maya and Mahamaya. So
Yeah.
Krishna's internal pastime, who governs that?
Radharani.
Yeah, but so all the pastime that Krishna is doing, it's part of his Yoga Maya potency,
Yeah.
Maya. Mhm.
right? And then his external pastime is also some part is controlled by Mahamaya, right? So when Krishna was present in Hastinapur, Bhishma could see him. Was
Yeah.
Yoga Maya or Mahamaya?
Mahamaya.
Mahamaya.
Yoga Maya.
Yoga Maya. Okay.
Yes.
The internal
And
potency.
and Duryodhana could not understand his Supreme Lord. What was that?
Mahamaya.
So Mahamaya is the one which deludes
Yes.
the outside. That's like even Lord Krishna says that Lord that Shiva and Brahma and all that, if they did not know that I was the Lord, then that's my potency, Yogmaya potency, which or Mahamaya potency, which was deluding them.
Yes. So Krishna has both of these potency, Yoga Maya and Mahamaya.
Yeah.
And Krishna can use both of these potency at the same time.
Yeah. Okay.
An example is given that all the Pandavas were under Yoga Maya potencies, but the Kauravas were under Mahamaya potencies. But both of them could see Krishna. Shishupal, seeing even Krishna, thought that he criticizing Krishna, but he was under Mahamaya potency. But becoming devotee means what?
Yoga Maya.
Going from
Mahamaya to Yoga Maya. And Prabhuji, so here, like the gopis, right? The gopis never considered Krishna as the Lord. That is
they
also
were, but
that is the Yoga
they were
Maya.
always in Yoga Maya potencies.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's Krishna's, pastime. That Gopi felt like that, but did they do anything against of Krishna's desire?
No, never. That can
So
never.
they are perfectly in Yoga Maya potency. And so since you are asking about it, Prabhu, this is a good point that you ask. So acharyas are saying that sometimes we see when Krishna was in the Mathura, in the uh,
Jail.
warrior field, in the field where he has to fight with those Chanura and Mustika, right? The same Krishna in one fist can kill Kamsa, Chanura, and Mustika. On the other hand, we are seeing that same Krishna is being defeated by Subal and other cowherd boys. So what's happening here? That means Krishna is sometimes being defeated by his Yogamaya potency, and sometimes he is winning over his Mahamaya potency. So he's sometimes using Yogamaya, sometimes using Mahamaya. Using those things simultaneously. Sometimes he will defeat, sometimes he will lose. Are you with me, devotees?
So
Yeah.
yes, Guruji. So the same energy can act differently,
But
right?
they are not over Krishna. They are under.
Under Krishna's control.
Yes. So when Krishna is losing, fighting with Subal and other of his friends, one should not think that, the Yogamaya potency has now taken over Krishna. So that's the inconceivable part of Krishna's, pastime. Krishna, can use both of his energy, but he is inconceivable. Which energy he is using, what time, and how he will use, that cannot be conceived. You and I cannot conceive. Why, Krishna got bound with Mother Yasoda love. That means Yogamaya potency has taken over him, right?
Yes.
Through under Yogamaya potency, he is bound. That means Yogamaya potency, is conquering over Krishna. No, he can at that time also decide to not get bound. And Mother Yasoda tried so many times to bound, but to bind him, but 2 feet, 2 inches too short all the time. So just to answer, Nadia Prabhu's questions, Krishna uses both of his potency. With his close associates, with his pure devotee, he's always in Yogamaya potency. Doesn't matter what's happening, they would never forget Krishna. There are other living entity who may forget Krishna, who may remember Krishna. Okay, so that's how it is. So some of the close associates of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, they are perfectly in the Yogamaya potency. They are not bewildered, Krishna in Hastinapur or Krishna in Dwarika. Krishna is king or Krishna is a cowherd boy. The same Krishna, the same Krishna. They are not confused by it. But other ordinary people may, as part of his pastime, just to do the pastime, they may, feel like that they're not understanding Krishna. So he can use both, his Yogamaya potency, Mahamaya potency, but he's beyond of both of his potencies. But the question that we were discussing, what was the discussion we had that we wanted to hear from Nadia Gajar Prabhu? That Krishna, is reciprocating differently with different person, right? And then we were talking about that at the end of the day, individuality matters. We wanted to hear your opinion on that subject. What do you think about it?
I don't know, Prabhu, how to say, but
What? But
answer.
you understand the discussion,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I got the difference of how, but I don't know how to express it.
Okay. Okay. No problem, bro. Thank you. So I just wanted to make sure that, some of these discussions are clear because we are not seeing the verses, but, I'm picking up some of the key phrases that is emphasized by our Acharya. Just going through some of those. So verse number 24, translation you can read, Mataji.
24. When Lord Krishna passed over the public roads, all the ladies from the respectable families of Dwaraka went up to the roofs of their palaces just to have a look at the Lord. They considered this to be the greatest festival.
So similar thing happened in previous chapter also, right?
Yeah. But that was a
Those,
depart.
yeah. And all the ladies of
Mathura.
Hastinapur, they
Hastinapur,
went
sorry.
on their rooftop
Mhm.
to see Krishna departing. Now here all the ladies of Dwarika, they came on their rooftop and they are witnessing entrance of Supreme Personality of Godhead. Then this beautiful, beautiful, it says, Nityam Diriksha Mananam Yadapi Dwarka Kosham Dwarka Kaukasham Na Vitrapayanti Idrishaha Shriyo Dhamangam Chutam. So Nityam Diriksha Mananam. Constantly Diriksha Mananam means watching. So Nityam Diriksha Mananam Na Vitrapyanti Idrishaha. By constantly looking at Supreme Personality of Godhead, residents of Dwarka, Dwarka, Aukasham, residents of Dwarka, Na Vitrapayanti, they are never satisfied. So they are constantly watching Supreme Personality of Godhead, but still they are not satisfied. Why? Shriyo Dhama Angam Achyutam. The beauty, Achyutam here refers to the personality of Godhead. The Shriyo means beauty. The beauty of the Anga, Dhamanangam, the body, the bodily beauty of Achyutam, Supreme Personality of Godhead, was insatiable. So the beauty of Supreme Personality of Godhead is mentioned here. That is not like that by seeing once, twice, or thrice. They're saying Nityam Diriksha Mananam. Dirikshan means inspection. They are constantly inspecting body of Supreme Personality of Godhead. But still, by that, they are not satisfied. Beauty of Supreme Personality of Godhead is insatiable. Right? We're looking at the beauty of deity. Devotee would never be satisfied.
That means
And then
they want to experience it more, or what exactly the meaning of it?
they want to experience it. It mentioned later too. Yes, they want to experience it more. So
So
his
the,
go ahead, go ahead. Why don't we read the purport? Let's read the purport. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just thinking like somewhere I heard that, for example, say we are eating sweets, right? If we eat 1, 2, 3, 4 sweets, we will feel like not eating again.
Yes, the law of
So,
divination.
yeah, but looking at the Lord is not like that. You can
Yes,
take more and more and more and more, and there can never be an end for that.
yes. But for that also, there should be devotion, right? There should be eyes.
Then only you can do it, I
Then
think.
only you
Otherwise,
can do it.
it's
So that's why I would like you to read the purport. Can you read the purport, please?
chance.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
Purport by His Divine Grace. When the ladies of the city of Dwarka got upon the roofs of their palaces, they never thought that they had previously many times seen the beautiful body of the infallible Lord.
Achyuta word is being used there. Yes.
This indicates that they had no satiation in desiring to see the Lord. Anything material seen for a number of times ultimately becomes unattractive by the law of satiation. The law of satiation acts materially, but there is no scope for it in the spiritual realm.
Mm.
The
So that
word,
answer your question, Prabhu. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Continue reading what I.
the word infallible is significant here because although the Lord has mercifully descended to the earth, he is still infallible. The living entities are fallible because when they come in contact with the material world, they lack their spiritual identity. And thus, the body materially obtained becomes subjected to birth, growth, transformation, situation, deterioration and annihilation under the laws of nature. The Lord's body is not like that. He descends as he is and is never under the laws of material modes. His body is the source of everything that be, the reservoir of all beauties beyond our experience. No one therefore is satiated by seeing the transcendental body of the Lord, because there are always manifestations of newer and newer beauties.
Nityam, Nityam. This is the beautiful. So then the many points are being made here, right? The first point that is being said, that material thing, when we look at it, it has process of satiation. At some point, law of diminishing, law of marginal return, they say in economics. Before you have more thirst, when you are very thirsty, water is very, tasting good to you. And as your thirst is quenching, a gap is coming, right? That happens with the material thing. But in a spiritual, when we are looking at the spiritual object, that law of marginal return doesn't apply. The beauty of Supreme Personality of God here is spiritual. It's not material beauty. So nawam, every path, every step is appearing anew. And it starts, Prabhupada is starting, the verse saying that when the leaders are looking at that, they don't feel like that they have seen this person before, right? They never thought that they had previously many times seen the beautiful body of the infallible Lord. So that's how it is. Every time body of Krishna is appearing so attracting, so beautiful that you'll feel like that this is first time. What is that? Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochena, love of devotion. If I tinge with the love of devotion, then looking at the form of Krishna, every pastime appears newer and newer. So it's just the expression of bhakti of those personalities towards Supreme Lord. Okay, so I think we can stop here and start from next section.
Okay, Prabhu.
Class.
Prabhuji, last line.
Okay, yeah.
That's also very beautiful. The transcendental name, form, qualities, and
Yes.
are all spiritual manifestations, and there
Yes.
is no satiation in chanting the holy name of the Lord.
Yeah.
There is no satiation in discussing the qualities of the Lord, and there is no limitation of the entourage of the Lord. He is the soul and is limitless.
Right. So that, I mean, for sure, right? Holy name is, we chant. The more seriously you chant, that's what you will feel. If you are really chanting name of Krishna very seriously, like your mind is very clean in terms of there is no waves running around, and you are quiet, just listening. Then you'll feel like that you are feel like that. And in the morning, every morning when I chant, my gosh, the thoughts that comes in my mind doesn't stay whole long. Just during chanting time, you'll feel. And one of the expression I had today when I was chanting, I realized that I'm really wasting my time. I'm not doing serious bhakti. I was thinking if I look at where I have done something that is devotional service, I found nothing. I found that everything has been superficial. Nothing has been really so strong so far. And I know that happened because of I was paying attention to name of Krishna. So if you chant name of Krishna, Krishna internally will help you understand and develop the form faith. But if you chant Namabhas or chant just for sake of chanting, not dedicated chanting, then you will just keep on. One mistake leads to another mistake leads to another mistake. That is why
That's like me.
I'm not saying like you. I'm just giving as a generic
No,
instruction.
I get it, Prabhu. Thank you.
So sometimes
Most
I'll chant 8 round, and if I'm not happy, I'll just start from 1. I don't count that because if it's not really, I feel like that I've really not chanted, then I discard that. Then again I will start from 1 to 16 like that. So chanting is, this is my personal experience. I'm not very advanced anything like that. Please forgive me. I'm not trying to claim anything like that. But
No.
one thing that I found, which I had heard many times, but I had not realized, but I'm realizing that if we very seriously very seriously, take 2 hours every day nicely and chant name of Krishna without disturbances. Prabhu, that helps a lot.
Yes.
That will keep you whole day very devotional. Your action, your mood, your behavior, your realization about Krishna, will be at par. Nothing of this world. So that's why I force myself that make sure that at least one thing I'm doing right, which is chanting the name of Krishna. Morning is the best time. I have also realized that. So
Mm.
yes, Prabhu's very important
Yep.
that we
You
do.
just have to pray for us, people like us, Prabhu.
I have to pray for Prabhu, not for you. I mean, you all are doing. I have to pray myself first so that I can at least chant name of Krishna. And if Krishna helps at some point, then I will definitely. I'm not the person who can give something to somebody. I'm still trying to beg and borrow type of thing. So please, bhakti is very powerful, in a very serious way. If we take it and do in a nicer way, it works. I can tell you that for sure. It really works wherever we are, whatever we are doing. It helps a lot. With that, thank you so much for your
Thank you, Prabhu.
association.
Hare Krishna.
Let's connect next week.
Okay, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, are we
Can I take 5 minutes? Yeah, Mataji.
discussing about the time for the
Yeah, I
next?
see that Gopal Guru Prabhu didn't join. I see Ramanand Saran Prabhu didn't join. So because their kids are somewhere, they have taken them to some classes or something. So I would personally like if you all find something. I like Bhagavatam discussion in the morning. It's not like that, we should not do Bhagavatam discussion in daytime. We should always do anytime, anywhere. But morning, getting up and chanting and then getting into Bhagavatam is also good for us, because we are following the kind
Okay.
of,
Yes, Prabhuji, I
protocol.
absolutely agree with you. Just because of the conflict, but if for everyone it is working out, we can have the class at the same time. I probably will join whenever I can, because I see that if so many devotees are having issues because of just one person, then probably
So how long that session will go?
that session goes for an hour and a half.
No,
And
how many long? How many years?
oh wow, they said like 2 years.
Oh,
Yes.
then you will have to listen one of the recorded class, I believe.
Okay, Prabhuji, that is absolutely fine. Yeah.
So can we do at 9 o'clock? Is that no? So what time is
No,
your class, Prabhu Ashok Prabhu?
my class starts at the Balware starts at 10, so I have to come and set up at 9:30. I have to absolutely be in the classroom, set it
So
up.
can we start at what time is your class, Mataji? That's into Mataji.
My class time is regularly from 8:15 onwards.
Oh my
And
gosh, right at the same time when we start our class.
yes, and sometimes it also fluctuates. They say 8:15 and sometime 8 o'clock, sometime 8:30. So this
Prabhu,
Prabhuji is
why don't you take an option of Saturday?
Saturday I have 2 classes, Prabhu. Bhakti
Then
Shastri.
maybe is it possible to make shift that one of the class to Sunday so that you can move it to Saturday?
They don't wanna because they have been doing this,
Yeah.
They have I started another batch of Bhakti Shastri. I have only 5 students in one batch and another batch has 7 students. So 12 students are working. After 8 or 10 weeks, maybe I can merge them together once I start Nectar of Devotion. So 2 classes on Saturday and then Sunday from 10 to 1 I have classes that I do. Before I think to me
and
sounds
we
like then I will have to go with 7:30 time then.
I think 7:30 will be better, Prabhu. If you
Yeah.
can, try it maybe for the next few
Yeah,
weeks
let's try
or week.
7:30 to 8:30, right?
Yeah, I think that'll be nice.
Yeah.
Mataji,
I would rather
is that okay?
that is okay, Prabhu. We'll
I
try.
would rather, take risk on the morning time
Yeah.
than daytime.
Yeah, that'll be nice.
Yeah. So 7:30, let's try for 7:30 from next week onward. Is that okay?
Okay.
Nadia Kishore
Yes.
Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu, I'm okay.
Yeah, so let's try 7:30 Prabhu, okay?
Okay.
7:30
Thank
seems
you.
to be working for all of us.
Yes.
Thank you.
Prabhu, thank you.
Dandavad.
Thank you so much.
Dandavad. Hare Krishna. Dandavad.
Hare
Hari Bol. Vansh
Thank
Kalpatra
you.
Vishya Kripa Sindhu Vaya
We
Vasya.
are also-
Patitanam Pavane Vaishnava Namo.
Krishna, we give Namo.
Dandavad. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.